Girl, I've got 5 words for you and for everybody.
What?
I'm coming to the cottage.
I have to watch that show. It's Heated Rivalry, right? I haven't watched it yet.
It is. When I tell you the TikToks of people's reactions to the end of episode 5, my entire feed is Heated Rivalry right now.
Great.
And I can't watch anything with either of those boys without bursting into tears.
Wonderful.
It is.
I'm in.
I'm coming to the cottage. It is.
Okay.
If you know,
One day I'll get it.
One day you will definitely.
I can't wait to get it.
I mean, you're going to love it so much.
Okay, great. I'm in.
Hi, Jillian Benzavalli.
Hello, Patrick Hines.
Are you also coming to the cottage?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Right?
Yes. Well,
yes ending. I don't know what that means. If
yes.
it's good, yes.
No, it's very good. I'm just wondering if you... Never mind. You'll understand when you get there.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't want to give anything away.
Okay,
but
no,
It seems like it could be a men's-only cottage, I guess is all I'm saying.
Oh, that's fine.
You know what I mean?
They can have it.
Totally.
Have fun, be safe.
They would love you. They would love you at the cottage.
I got a planet to get back to.
Exactly. Bam. Look, we're supposed to talk about the Facebook group, but I want to tell you that we've got 200,000 subscribers on YouTube.
I can't believe, as of this recording, and we're a couple weeks ahead, so I don't know. I mean, that's so crazy.
Y'all are checking us out. Please go watch us.
Thank you.
It's so much fun. 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. It is so
That's
crazy.
Wild.
Also join the Facebook group. It's the True Crime Obsessed podcast discussion group.
Yeah.
And Patreon. We've got like 500 full ad-free bonus episodes.
So many.
We're starting that Philadelphia Mafia thing. It's insane.
Skinny Joey Merlino.
I can't. As I was taking my notes on it today, I'm like, I'm barely going to talk in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to, this is so your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
If you love
Goodfellas references, I got you guys.
Oh my God. It's wild.
I know, it's crazy.
I love it when they bug a building. It's my favorite thing.
Well, we'll get to it.
Okay. All right. Wrong episode. We're not there yet. Speaking of, what are we talking about today?
So this is a Dateline episode called The Trouble in Bardstown. It is the Crystal Rogers case. So this is a case that people have been wanting us to cover for years.
Yeah.
There's a 6-part Oxygen thing from like 2018.
Oh, wow.
No, it's too old.
Yeah,
too long.
forget
whatever.
it. Yeah.
So when this Dateline came out, my DMs were flooded of like, oh, there's finally something to like cover about this.
Yeah.
So it's season 34, episode 7, and Andrea Canning is our host.
You know, people go missing every single day, but a mother who's in constant contact with her kids, that was getting everyone's attention.
This is a mystery of where is Crystal Rogers?
We want to know why and how the car ends up on the Bluegrass Parkway.
Mom would have never left her car just on the side of the road.
One of the rear tires is flat.
And we felt like the positioning of the seat was not proper for where she would have had it.
What do you think happened? I'm shocked. I do not know. I want the answer to it.
We come out every day, hoping we'll find something.
Crystal's dad, Tommy, kind of started his own armchair investigation.
Very early, yeah.
People were talking to Tommy, and people were getting nervous.
I'm not stopping till I find her.
Before we get into it, can I just say I had a realization today that all of these Dateline hosts, they really go through it. Each and like Joshy Manx has the way that he deals with it. Keith has his. Andrea Canning is sobbing start to finish in this episode. And what I love about her is that I like this bullshit, like journalists can't have emotions thing. Andrea Canning is crying. I'm crying. The mom is crying. Everyone is crying. She cannot stop crying.
I know.
I make a note of it. I love her. I love her so much.
She's great.
Bring the emotion, journalists. We want it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, so she says that it's Bardstown, Kentucky, and she says it's been called America's most beautiful small town. And Andrea Canning says to someone, it's kind of like Mayberry, right? And I'm like, what? I had to look that up.
It's like an old-timey TV show thing,
It's like
right?
the fictional perfect little town where the Andy Griffith Show took
That's
place.
what it is.
So if you don't know the Andy Griffith Show, there are so many names and things that have just like permeated pop culture from that show. Like, that's not I know I'm an old soul, but like I'm totally, I don't know anything.
I've never seen it.
I know that like Ron Howard was Opie.
Yeah,
And they say in Almost Famous, who brought Opie?
Oh,
great
really?
Fruza Balk thing to William. Also Barney Fife, you know that name, Barney Fife?
Yeah.
Andy's deputy is his bumbling but neurotically hilarious cousin, Barney Fife. Among Andy's Mayberry friends is the town's resident barber, Floyd.
Oh!
They're having a grand old time in Mayberry. But Andrea Canning said it like we should all know what that was. And I was like, what is that? And I was like, Andy, we're going to the Andy Griffith Show.
You know, Canning had to give it a goog, too. She's like, what are we talking about?
The guy was like, no, totally. Like, they were on the same page about it. We were not.
Andrea Canning can't stop watching Heated Rivalry. Like, that's all she wants to watch.
But to your point, like, Andrea, yes, personal points of reference that you know, like, get a little personal sometimes.
Yeah. Sorry, we're going to get right into the case, I promise. But I realize by the time this episode comes out, everyone's going to be so over Heated Rivalry.
Yes.
They're going to be like, Grandpa, what are you doing? Are you still talking about those gay guys?
There's going to be some scandal. They're all going to be canceled.
Totally.
Like, who the hell knows what we're doing right now?
I will try not to be insufferable about it. But you know how it goes when I promise that.
Or you'll find something else to be interested in tomorrow.
That's true.
Heated rivalry marked safe.
So what was
from Patrick?
So anyway, it's the 4th of July weekend, 2015. We learn about Crystal. And Crystal was like born to be a mom. She had 5 kids.
It seems to me that Crystal was born to be a mom.
Yes, she was a very good mom. She had 5 children, and she even took care of some other kids that weren't hers.
She was even taking care of other kids who like weren't her kids that like needed taken care of.
Yeah, Sherry, Crystal's mom, is here and she tells us all about Crystal. And yeah, like she was born to be a mom. And Ashley is Crystal's oldest daughter. And so she tells us about this July 4th weekend. And everyone was like really looking forward to the celebrations. Now, Dateline on the bottom lower third. How do you usually celebrate 4th of July? I'm like, Dateline, we don't have time for this.
We don't. But I love
like tweet at Dateline what you do for July 4th. Like, what are you talking about?
The way
Who celebrates the 4th of July anymore?
God, I know.
Not me.
I know. But like the way that Dateline wants the but I bet people do it. I bet people you know what I mean? I bet people really are. You know what? I love that Andrea Canning just asked me that.
Dateline, we don't have time.
We don't.
Like, we have to get to the bottom of this.
I also do love, though, that like they go to the family farm for like the 4th of July festival. Like, how wholesome does that sound?
It is it's very Mayberry. Is that the
very,
term?
very
is that
Mayberry.
The right?
Yeah.
It is Mayberry.
I think you did it. Yeah. It's very mulberry, if you ask me.
It is. It's like mulberry.
So mulberry.
So Eli is 2.5 years old, and he's Crystal's youngest.
Yes.
So we learned like the July 4th weekend, no one can get in touch with Crystal. Ashley, her daughter's trying to get in touch with her. Sherry, her mother. People are talking themselves out of being worried.
Because it's really unusual. Crystal like answers she's me. She answers every text in 5 seconds. She's always in community. Like this family is also very, very close.
Yeah.
So the fact that like Crystal's not responding makes no sense to anybody.
Right. And so now it's Sunday, and Brooks, her boyfriend, he also, by Sunday, he's like, oh, by the way, I don't know if this is anything. I also haven't heard from her.
She lives with Brooks with all of her kids. Eli is Brooks's son. And by Sunday, he's now telling the family he hasn't heard from her.
Right. So now it's 36 hours since anyone has heard from Crystal.
I love that we're not pretending that we don't like hate Brooks. Thank you so much.
Brooks? Give me a break.
The thing is, I kind of love names like that.
That's great. I'm saying Brooks, like him specifically.
I know.
I hate this guy. And his fucking brother. Don't even get me started.
Nick.
So, like, Nick the brother,
get
a grip.
Nick and Brooks.
36 hours since anyone has heard anything from Crystal. And Tommy, her dad, like, her family's so amazing. Her dad is leading the search with Sherry, her mom, and Ashley, her daughter, and they all go to the sheriff's department.
And, like, we'll get into this later, but, like, this family is primed to know how to do this, which is the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life.
So on the way to report Crystal missing, they run into Brooks, the boyfriend.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I haven't seen her since Friday. Oh, and also...
Sherry saw something that sent her pulse racing. Sitting in the back seat was Eli, Crystal and Brooks's son.
The minute I saw that baby, there was no doubt in my mind at all.
Mom never left that little boy anywhere, not even with his daddy. Very, very bad sign.
Right away, the family sees Eli without his mother, and they're like, that would never happen. Not even like to be with his dad without her. Like, that would never happen.
And Brooks is admitting he hasn't seen Crystal since Friday.
Yeah.
And he isn't calling anybody about it.
Right.
Like, here's another trend, very what in the Scott Peterson of it.
Yeah.
But, like, the family and Brooks are never working together on this.
Right.
You would think that everyone would be in it together, and they're immediately not from the beginning, and that's a major red flag.
No, and so, like, the mom and the daughter get to the police station to report her missing, and they find out that Crystal's car has been found on the side of the highway. It's the Bluegrass Parkway, and, like, Crystal was not with the car.
And it's clear that it's been abandoned.
Yeah.
Now we meet Detective Jon Snow, and I'm like, hell of a name. That's a Game of Thrones... You know nothing, Jon Snow.
And his name is Jon Snow?
Jon Snow. Jon in Game of Thrones is Jon, but this guy's John, like, with an H.
That
I was like,
wild.
Your name is Jon Snow. You must have had a wild few years when Game of Thrones was the biggest thing on the planet.
It also feels like the name Jon Snow wouldn't be that unusual.
It's a great name. And he's like the king of the north in the winter.
Totally.
Like, Jon Snow.
Is Game of Thrones any good?
It was good until they fucking ruined it. Here's the thing about Game of Thrones that I think is, like, fascinating as a society thing.
Yeah.
It was the biggest pop culture thing ever, and they messed up the ending so terribly that nobody talks about it anymore, and it tainted the entire series.
That sucks.
Because George R.R. Martin didn't finish the book series.
Right, yeah,
From, the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, the 90s. He had so long, and then they, didn't have anywhere to go, so they kind of invented shit, and then they got bored and wanted to do some Star Wars thing or whatever. The creators, they just rushed it. It was a nightmare.
And this is the last... I'm not going to let myself say anything else, but all I'm going to say is this is my fear for Heated Rivalry Season 2 is that everyone loves... It's going to be like Wicked did the second part where everyone loved the first one so much that like everyone's going to hate it just automatically when it comes out.
Maybe.
The
Not
boys,
if they do it right.
They're still going to be that cute, though.
Okay, great.
Okay, moving. I promise I won't say another word in this episode.
But Jon Snow.
We are recording another episode of something else today, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, we'll see. But I also haven't watched it, so I can't contribute.
I know.
I haven't watched it yet.
I'm coming to the cottage.
I will. Okay. So Detective Jon Snow tells us
One of the rear tires is flat.
I mean, that seems reasonable that could happen to someone on a highway like this, but this is a missing woman.
Well, and what's unusual is there was no signs of anybody trying to change the tire.
Even stranger, Crystal's car keys were still in the ignition, her phone and purse on the front seat.
Crystal's keys were in the ignition, her phone is in the front seat, and her purse is there too. Like, come on.
And even Jon Snow says the obvious, like, nobody would just walk away without their person's cell phone. That's
give me a break.
Insane.
Especially when you have a flat tire and you're like presumably walking for help, you would just leave all your shit there? No.
Absolutely
Give me
not.
a break.
Yeah.
So the cops want to talk to the family. Of course, they're starting close, working their way out. What are these family dynamics? What's going on here?
And so now is when we like learn about Brooks. So Brooks is from the area. He's like a self-made guy. He made a name for himself in construction and property management. And like, he's doing really well, which is also so crazy to me. Why can't you just go and live your good, happy, successful, rich life?
I know.
You know?
So here's the timeline a la Brooks or a la Francais,
and
as Luann would say.
And we see the interview. Like, Brooks gives the timeline in this police interview that we're watching. And I will say, where he's different from Scott Peterson is that he does look... Remember Scott Peterson's interview with the cops? Yeah. Where he was just like sitting there like he didn't give a shit? Yeah. Brooks is at least pretending to care.
Look, he comes down to the station without an issue. He comes down without a lawyer.
Yeah.
And he's here to say his timeline. So Friday night, he was with Crystal. Everything was fine. They took Eli, the 2.5-year-old, on what he calls a, quote, family outing to the family farm. And they walked around a field for several hours.
Can we pause here for just a second? Because the cops will say this later, but I made a note the first time I watched it. This is insane.
Why would you have a 2.5-year-old child out walking around in a cow field at 11:30 at night? It's just strange, right?
No 2-year-old is going to not be losing his shit outside at 11 o'clock. It's boring. They're exhausted.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as I heard this, I was like, this is the guy.
Yeah, they walked around in a field for several hours, he says. And I'm like, okay. So he was in bed by 11:30. Crystal stayed up later, had some alone time playing games on her phone.
Playing not Tetris, he says. I'm like, is this 1988?
Calm down, Brooks. I don't care.
I know.
What a weird detail.
Right.
How do you know? I thought you were in bed asleep.
Right. She's playing Candy Crush already. He's like one of those bubble games.
Let her play what she wants to play.
Not
she wants
Tetris.
to play Tetris. Let her play Tetris.
By the way, Tetris is a great game.
It's one of the original.
Literally.
Everything, we wouldn't have Candy Crush if not Tetris, okay?
True. You're absolutely right.
Hey?
Tetris walks so Candy Crush can fly.
Yes,
100%.
Exactly. So the next morning, Brooks wakes up. Eli is next to him, and Crystal is just gone. And I'm like, Brooks, don't fucking patronize me, bro. Shut up.
Because he's trying to say that wasn't that strange, that like this was not the first time Crystal had taken off.
She's done this about 4 or 5 times. It just has never went this period of time, and she usually sent me, text messages in that period.
He said Crystal sometimes needed her space and would visit family for a day or so. But this time was different.
That's why he wasn't worried, and that's why he didn't tell anyone she was missing. Bullshit.
No, it's also that thing where, like, again, we've got all the information because we're watching the documentary, but the family is, like, absolutely... Crystal would never just, like, abandon... All of her kids live with her at this guy's house, but Eli, her 2.5-year-old, she's not going to be away from him for a couple of days just to blow off steam.
And she would, like, gently place the 2.5-year-old next to Brooks and then, like, sneak out of the house. Give me a break.
Absolutely not.
So, but also, guess what? They're not fighting. They've never fought. There are no money problems. No one's cheating. Everything is amazing. No, it's not Brooks.
And they check out Brooks' story, and they've got this security footage from like a neighbor's ring cam where they see his car driving in the direction of the family farm at the time that he said he was going there.
And then driving back at the time he said he left.
It tells us nothing. They have this in here just so we can see some video footage.
They're like, oh, this totally confirms his story. I was like, does it?
Well, it totally confirms his story of like taking his wife out to a farm for 2.5 hours and then not seeing her for 3 days. It sure does confirm that story.
Yeah, but like, great, he was there during that time, but it doesn't confirm they were just walking in a freaking field for 3 hours. Give me a break.
Absolutely not.
So Shane McAllister is here. She works for Dateline now, but at the time she was a rookie reporter and she's covering the case, boots on the ground, and she made a podcast called Bardstown.
I wanted to give Shane her propers. I was like, you made a podcast working for like a Louisville station and now you work for Dateline, girl? You did it.
And she was like the consultant. She was like the Dateline consultant there, and now she's here telling us everything she knows about the case.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah, Shane.
Good job, Shane.
So the cops do a press conference and Jon Snow's like, oh God, we got so many tips. Like today to Andrea Canning, he was like, oh, Andrea, the tips, you have no idea.
Sometimes it's like a bad thing. You know what I mean?
More often than not, it is distracting and not helpful.
They
and
do
it's
that
everyone's
thing.
boyfriend's fault.
It's everyone's boyfriend's fault. They're seeing her all over the country. People are reporting her in Rhode Island. Can you not? Can you please not?
We're not.
You know?
Please. So let's learn a little bit more about Crystal Rogers. She was born and raised in Bardstown. She's the oldest.
By the way, Bardstown's a great name for a town.
It's a great name.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They also described it early on as being like in the heart of Kentucky's bourbon country. I was like, do I live in Bardstown now?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Everything I know about Kentucky, I know from Justified. So, which is not much.
You know what? I've done shows in Louisville a couple of times. Always amazing.
Yeah.
Great crowd. Everyone brings me a bottle of bourbon.
Yeah.
Should I do a show in Kentucky next weekend?
Hello?
You know what I mean?
You look at your supply, you're like,
I know.
Steve, the demand is off the charts for Kentucky. I simply have to go for a long weekend.
One long weekend. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so Bardstown, she is the oldest of 3 children. She was shy, but everyone loved her. She had a heart of gold, super close with her family.
Yeah.
And we're told that
At 19, she took a job at a bank and had her first child. Motherhood came naturally to Crystal. Her love life was more complicated. She'd eventually have more relationships, more kids, and even marry once before separating.
Her mother is saying that, motherhood came naturally to her. Relationships, not as much.
Yeah.
She was in a bunch of different relationships.
She had bad luck.
And she had, a couple of kids, but, she loves her kids. And it seems like she's got good relationships with the parents of the children.
Yeah.
Everything is great. Everything is going well for her.
Yeah, but Crystal, she's looking for love. Nothing's working out. And now she meets Brooks, who, this is super messy, was her landlord and then asked her out.
This guy
hate this.
does this. This is not the last time we're going to hear this about this guy in this episode.
That's so gross.
It's really gross.
So, but Crystal was happy. We learned that he had his life together. Brooks had his life together, which is what she was looking for.
Yeah, he also comes from a local family. He'd run for sheriff. I love this. They dig into the archives and find a Brooks weirdo for sheriff ad.
But they also really make sure that we know he had 0 law enforcement background.
What is he thinking?
I mean, what is anyone thinking?
Can you imagine being the head cop with no law enforcement experience?
Yes, I think that people absolutely want to have the power of feeling like they're a big tough cop without actually having any experience. Yes, I do.
They say it was a unique campaign.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, was it?
I know.
So he lost then.
Yeah,
is what
exactly,
you're saying.
exactly.
Rosemary is not here, but she's Brooks's mom. And at first, everyone wants us to know that she was very nice to Crystal, including Crystal's 4 children who were not Brooks's biological kids. And I'm like, I love how they have to call that out because people are such assholes that they wouldn't be nice to children.
The thing about this Rosemary, who I fucking hate, number one, she was a former daycare owner, and having been on that battlefield for exactly 1 week of my life, I see her. That's the only thing I like about her. She, they say that...
Sherry says Brooks's mom, Rosemary, a daycare owner, also seemed to welcome Crystal and her kids into the family.
They had a good relationship. She actually brought crayons and coloring book to the kids once when she came over.
Because she one time brought coloring books and crayons to the house for some of the children. She did that one time.
One time. The bar is in hell.
The whole sense we get from Brooks and his mom is that, they think they're fancy and that they're, too good for Crystal and her family.
Right. Then don't be with Crystal.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Crystal's awesome. Let her go find love somewhere else.
But also, if you love Crystal and you're going to be with her, stand up to your mom, Brooks, and tell her, to be fucking nice.
Yeah, right.
You know?
So Crystal is pregnant with Eli, who is her 5th child. And now she starts working for Brooks as a property manager. And she's collecting rent and she's dealing with all these issues and dealing with tenant problems, including evictions and going to court. So the thought is oh, wait, maybe there was some disgruntled tenant that wanted to hurt Crystal.
But then they look into this for 5 seconds and they realize this is not the case. Evictions are always messy, but nobody was going to kill her.
Yeah,
you know?
Nothing panned out with that. And Keith Rogers is the father of 2 of Crystal's kids. And she met up with him the day before she went missing, and the cops are like, walking red flag. No, he's cleared. This was a totally routine thing. They had a great relationship.
Yeah.
And they were in contact a lot, and he saw the kids a lot.
And the same with the other dads. There's no issues with the other dads of the kids. So the detectives get the forensic results from Crystal's car. There's no blood. There's no sign of a struggle, but there's one important thing. And we see this all the time.
Yep. In Ed 8, this reminded me of the Bob Ruff episode we did of Web of Death. Yeah.
These people are so dumb.
We felt like that the positioning of the seat was not proper for where she would have had it.
Too far back or too far?
It was too far back for her to have been driving the vehicle when it was left on the parkway.
So you're it looks like a taller person.
Correct.
Has been driving and just didn't readjust the seat?
Yeah.
The positioning of Crystal's driver's side car seat was off. She was tiny, and it's the seat is pushed all the way back because clearly some other tall person drove it and left it where it was found on the highway.
Exactly.
How dumb are these people?
Extremely.
We're going to learn later. I'm just going to say this now so we don't forget. The person that we find out eventually who did leave the car here even tried to readjust it to make it look, but didn't do it good enough. You know what I mean?
Okay. 1979, Crystal's aunt goes missing.
Yeah.
She was 7 months pregnant. She was killed, and she was found 2 years later. And so this is what you were saying earlier about like why Crystal's family is so good at forming a search party and making moves, like because they've been through this.
They knew what to do. They searched for Crystal's dad's sister for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, they eventually found her, God love them.
Yeah.
But like, so when Crystal goes missing, like they know what to do. How sad is that?
It must be incredibly surreal to be like, oh, well, here's what we did last time.
This is the first time Andrea Canning is crying. She's like, and so it's like he's going through it all over again, the dad.
It's horrible. So Team Crystal is formed. We have the search party, family, friends, community. Everyone is involved except for one person. Can you guess who that person is?
I know.
Brooks was just not there. And that was the top question. Why aren't you searching for her?
At a press conference, law enforcement didn't seem that concerned. In fact, they insisted Brooks was doing what he could.
The cops are on TV, like, letting everyone know how cooperative he's been. So, like, don't think he's a suspect yet. He's been really cooperative. He's just not participating in any way with the family. I don't know.
What would the reason for being like, don't go? Because, again, if it were Steve, if it were you, if it was anybody that I loved, I'd be like, well, you're going to have to chain me to this chair to not be out in the fucking woods.
Kick rocks. Go scratch. I'm going on this fucking search party.
Do I want to be the one to find Jillian's body? No.
No, but what am I going to do otherwise? Sit home?
I know.
I don't care if someone, I don't know the reasoning. They don't explain what it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this idiot boyfriend goes on Nancy Grace to defend himself. What in the Scott Peterson?
The thing about this, too, is I get the sense he was not an invited guest. He called in.
Because this is not a sit-down interview. He does not have a lawyer.
No.
He does not have anyone around him who's telling him good advice.
I mean, it feels like they weren't even talking about his wife. It feels like he just called in and was like, in case anyone's talking about me, by the way.
Nancy Grace is probably like, what?
I know.
Get him on the phone before he comes to his senses and hangs up.
Totally.
Like, we're going live right now. Can you imagine how thrilled she must have been when that phone call comes through? It's Brooks trying to fucking defend himself. She was probably like, great, keep yapping.
Remember the time we saw her at that convention walking through a room waving at nobody?
Like, waving at no one. She thought people were like, there was going to be a crowd forming.
Yeah, waving at nobody, Nancy Grace.
And I was like, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
We were setting up our little booth and we were watching. We were like, Nancy, there's nobody here. Who are you waving at?
Like royalty.
I know. But
like,
that's
she's
true.
Got it. Like, and basically, like, I got to keep going.
I really can't. I'd like to stop, but they won't let me.
I mean, as you can see.
As you can see.
Please, no pictures.
Wild.
So Brooks speaks to the cops for a second time.
What else do you want to know?
Take a minute, it's all right.
No, it's...
Again, Brooks was cooperative. He even gave Detective Snow his cell phone.
Whatever you ask me, I'll be more happy to do.
He's emotional, but like not over the top emotional, right? Like he's doing everything right. He's helpful. He's giving the cops his cell phone. He wants to help. He'll do whatever it takes, he says.
Well, and this is where Detective Snow finally asks him about that 2.5 hour walk around the fucking woods in the middle of the night.
Right, because they're like, oh, his timeline has like a lot more details now, and this is where we have a problem. And I'm like, wait, why didn't the cops know about the timing the first time around? This seems like basic information. If I'm asking you, how long were you in the field?
Yeah.
Shouldn't that have come up in the first conversation?
Well,
no?
I'm just glad he's calling him on it now. Because I think the thing is, and I don't think we always get these, especially in Dateline episodes, they don't want to let on yet that Brooks is probably the bad guy. Because what I think Detective Snow is navigating in this is that, like, at this point, Snow knows there's something going on. But he's got, like, Brooks is being cooperative. He doesn't want to get combative with Brooks. So he's trying to he's like, tell me a little bit more. That sounds strange, right, girl?
Well, what's strange is that the new details that Brooks tells them is that it was super cold and it was raining.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that you walked a toddler in the rain for 3 hours at night in the freezing cold.
2.5-year-olds are heavy. It's not like he's asleep in Crystal's arms.
Also, the cops should be like, why are you like trying to get your child sick?
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a problem too.
It's just like anybody who's ever spent any time with a child is hearing this story being like, this didn't happen.
Right. Even those of us who don't, I'm like, no one wants to be wandering in the rain aimlessly for no reason for 3.5 hours from 7:30 to 11:30 or whatever.
Absolutely
Brooks,
not.
Stop it.
Now, we also learn that on the night that Crystal went missing, Brooks had a 13-second call with a guy named Steve Larson. Now, here's the thing. Brooks can't remember what the call was about. I am calling total bullshit on this.
Well, so he calls Steve. in front of Jon Snow.
Yeah.
And puts Steve on speakerphone. He's like, hey, Steve.
The other night you called me really late, and I forgot what you asked me. Can you remember what you asked me or what you were after? I can't remember.
Yes, sir, I can. I called to ask you for them numbers for a house.
Oh, for a rental house?
Yes, sir.
It seems to have been a pre-planned phone call.
I called you for a very routine, not at all suspicious work thing.
Yeah, that only took 13 seconds.
And Jon Snow is like, this is a rehearsed phone call.
Like, and
Clocks
we're
it immediately.
watching it, by the way. We're seeing this phone call happen on video. And it's like the fakest thing you've ever seen.
It's so beyond obvious. And also, Brooks is super nonchalant. Like, he's leaning back. His legs are crossed. He's not worried about Crystal at all. He's so focused on letting everyone know how helpful he's being that he's forgetting to be concerned about Crystal.
Let me just say this, too. It's a small detail, but, like, there's another case that I'm totally obsessed with. I won't bore you all with the details now, but in that case, there's another phone call, like a crucial phone call, that the person involved says they can't remember. Either they don't remember making the call, but the call is on their call log, and it's like a 1 minute long call. And I'm like, that would never happen.
Yeah.
In real life, there's no way Brooks would not remember what his employee called to talk to him about the other day.
Yeah.
He would, like, as soon as he said, I don't remember what that was about, that was the other alarm bells going off for me.
This is all manufactured,
Yeah.
right? But then we get another phone call, and it's Nick, the brother, Brooks's brother.
Yes.
Nick is a cop.
He was an officer with neighboring Bardstown Police Department, and he seemed to be giving Brooks advice.
It's clear that he's pretty animated. He's a little excited about the fact that Mr. Houck is still there.
I know you told me innocent people have got jammed up, but if you're telling me to leave, I'll get up and leave.
He thinks y'all are little is what he thinks.
And Nick tells his brother to shut the hell up and get the hell out of there immediately. Now, everything else aside, Nick is not wrong.
No, I agree with all of that. This also feels rehearsed. This also feels like I'm going on a blind date. Can you call me 30 minutes in to see if I'm
something bad happened?
Yeah, because like we can hear Nick yelling through the phone to get the hell out of there. And then Brooks
that
is
was
like,
for Mike Jensen, by the way. That was the something bad happened, the Sex and the City thing, which is literally what Charlotte has Carrie call her and say.
Just a casual Mike Jensen shout out?
Charlotte, it's me. Something bad happened. Something bad happened.
That is so funny. But like, then you hear Brooks going, you're saying that I should leave?
Yeah.
Well, if you're saying that I should leave, then I will go. Now, Nick has some fucking nerve because he's a cop in the neighboring town. It's the same police chief he's basically like calling into his own job, telling the guy to get out of this investigation.
So Brooks leaves, goes directly to the family farm to talk to his brother, the cop, getting advice and coming up with a plan.
Yeah.
So now the cops obviously want to speak to his brother, Nick. And my first thought immediately is like, they're not going to get shit out of this conversation. This guy's a cop and this is his brother. He's not saying a word.
Well,
which is exactly what happens.
Detective Snow calls the brother and is like, can you come in? And he's like, no, I would really not like to.
And so enter Rick McCoven.
Obsessed with this guy.
The chief of police and Nick, the brother's boss.
Yeah.
He gets wind of this and he's like, I'm sorry, what? And Nick's like, but I don't want to. And Rick goes, we took an oath. You don't get to not.
And he says to Nick,
I was getting madder at him. I finally got to the point, my exact quote, I said, you're going to unask that chair, you're going to cooperate, and that's a direct order. And I said, now, get your ass over there now.
Get your ass over there now.
Unask that chair. Let me ask you this.
I mean, they're fighting on the phone. They get into a major argument because Nick, the brother, is fighting this so much that Rick finally has to say, like, unask that goddamn chair.
I've never heard that expression.
I've never heard that either.
I'm obsessed with it.
It feels very Kentucky. I say that as a compliment.
Absolutely.
I say that like Raylan Givens would say it for my Justified people.
Is this legal? Like, can his boss force him to go participate in this investigation? Do you think?
I think Rick said, we took an oath, you don't get to not. Like, this is what this is. The whole, I know that we forget about this now because everyone is such a fucking nightmare, but like protect and serve used to be a thing.
Yeah.
And so if you take the oath, like there is a missing woman here, your brother may or may not be involved. You need to help. This is your fucking job.
Unask that chair.
This is in your jurisdiction. This is your job. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
will you do me a favor and unask that chair and go watch Heated Rivalry? Thank you so much. I promised. I said I would try.
Okay. It takes 6 days, but Nick, the brother, finally sits down with the cops. Like 6 days of plotting and planning and getting stories straight and like avoiding any accountability at all.
It's just so crazy. And he's trying to tell the cops he barely knew Crystal. He rarely sees his brother.
He barely knows his own brother.
Like what?
He's like, I barely know my brother, but what I do know is that he didn't hurt Crystal.
He would
in any
never.
way.
I
Her name
know
is
that for
Crystal,
sure.
you said?
Yeah,
Crystal?
yeah.
With a C? Okay.
Right.
Well, my brother, who I barely know, he would definitely never, ever, ever, ever do anything like that. And I'm like, well, which is it, brah?
But then also, Detective Snow's like, so remember when you called and told your brother to leave leave the meeting with me and then he went and met you at the farm right after? Tell me about that.
No.
Nick's like, I don't really remember.
No.
I don't really know about that.
I don't know. So the cops are like...
Then they asked him, point blank, if he was involved in Crystal's disappearance.
So you never helped him move a body?
I did not.
Never helped him move any evidence?
Never.
Well, did you kill Crystal Rogers? No. Did you help your brother move her body? No. Did you help your brother destroy evidence? Never. And I'm like, oh, then he definitely did that one.
He may be in that room, but as far as I'm concerned, that chair is still assed.
It's assed. It's full assed.
Full assed.
100% assed.
You know what I mean?
So Nick the brother's like, I swear up and down nothing bad happened. But he agrees to a polygraph, which is insane.
Idiots.
He's a cop.
But I mean, I feel like he can't say no. He's officially unasked the chair.
But then I'm like, oh, these people always think they can outsmart it.
I
always.
know.
Like, of course he's going to be like, sure.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
What?
Do you think polygraphs work?
No.
Okay.
I think they work in terms of like they can detect if your heart rate, I don't think, but I don't think that you can actually, obviously you can't use them to actually see if someone's telling the truth.
Yeah.
But can they like feel if you're anxious?
Yeah.
Probably.
But I mean, it's like we almost always see it work. You know what I mean? Even though like they can't use them, like they nail the guy.
But sometimes you can like.
I'm glad we can't use them in court, but I'd also
like I don't have time for this today.
I would like to own a polygraph machine and get all my friends to come over.
Like and meet the parents.
Yeah, totally. Oh yes.
He's like the needles are jumping.
You know what? I'm gonna have a polygraph party. I'm getting one. Maybe I'll do it for my birthday.
Who does that? Vanity Fair? Someone does it.
Yeah, totally. And then they always catch Emma Stone like secretly thinking she was the best actress that year. You know what I mean?
That's how it happened. Good for her. So he fails the
Emma, do you think that Meryl deserved the Oscar that year? Yes. You're being deceptive.
This guy fails the living shit out of this polygraph, obviously.
The examiner told Nick he'd failed on key questions about Crystal's disappearance.
What are the questions? Do you know where Crystal is right now? Are you hiding any information about what happened to Crystal? Okay. You didn't tell me the truth on both of those questions.
Specifically, the questions about Crystal Rogers.
Yes.
And then they start arguing, and we see it. Like, they're fighting in the polygraph room.
Yeah.
And Nick, the brother, I have to say, is absolutely infuriating. He's childish. He's argumentative. And you could tell, like, this is every conversation he has.
These are straight white men who've gotten away with everything for their entire lives.
What a piece of shit this guy is.
This is the first time anyone's ever told him to unask a chair ever in his life.
Like, imagine being on a date with this guy.
Oh, my God.
So Nick storms out. Nick's like, bye. So Rick, the police chief, fires him.
I love
this is how
this
you
guy.
do it, everybody.
McCubbin, you're the best. Unless you're not. But right now, in this moment, for this thing, you're the unasking of the chair and the firing of the dickhead. You're the best.
He's just, Rick, like, can't believe, like, who the fuck do you think you are, Nick, the brother? Give me a break.
I know. But I do love, like, I don't know. I love that, like, Rick, the boss, is just taking the law. I don't know if you can fire somebody for this, but he's doing it.
You should be able to fire someone for this.
I agree.
Obstruction of justice.
Yes. Being an asshole.
Like, being a fucking punchable-faced dick.
Exactly.
So
what'd you get fired for?
Look at my face.
I was a punch. Oh, you were a punchable faced dick. Yeah.
Obviously.
Can't believe you lasted as long as you did.
Same. That's Nick. So, but no one has been charged. We don't know what happened to Crystal. We don't know where she is.
Yeah.
The cops are like, okay, these two brothers are obviously involved, but there's no proof anywhere.
Yeah.
There's no evidence anywhere.
Well, they search Brooks's house and the family farm. They find no evidence of anything.
And so, but the cops go public and they're like, yeah, so boyfriend Brooks and his stupid brother Nick definitely are involved. They say that boyfriend Brooks is a suspect. Brother Nick has knowledge of what happened.
I love it.
And now all the footage is out there so the public can make their own decision.
They put out they are giving no fucks in Bardstown.
It's a really big deal that they did this.
Totally.
So we're back with Sherry, Crystal's mom, and she's like, okay, now that I can be honest, I never liked Brooks.
Yeah.
And she always wanted the cops to look at him. And she said that she didn't like the way, not only that he treated Crystal, but Crystal's kids.
Like, this is, the stories that we get here are insane. We learned that.
We went out to eat with them one time, and he would not pay for the other kids' meals. He only paid for his and Eli's.
At home, Ashley says Brooks would sometimes shut down the utilities so the kids wouldn't run up the bill.
He just started, like, turning the water off at the house and, like, just little mean things.
Ashley, the daughter who lived with them, is saying that sometimes he would just turn off the utilities because he didn't want us running up the bill.
Here's the thing. Then don't be with Crystal. That's the gig.
Exactly.
You have to be nice to all the kids. She has 4 kids when you met her.
Yeah.
So you can't just pick and choose. That's the gig when you're with Crystal.
And, like, we're going to learn in a minute that Brooks was a fucking millionaire. It's not like they were pinching pennies.
He's just an asshole.
He's just and he wants the other kids to feel less than.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
And his mother taught him
I always love
how
it when
to
you
do
say it like that. That's my favorite.
Because it's always like, it's like the worst kind of fucking boy mom.
I
Don't
know.
come for me. If you're a good boy mom, great. But I'm talking about Rosemary.
Yeah.
Brooks's mom, who made it all worse because she was very controlling, very manipulative. She was mean. She was rude, says Ashley, Crystal's daughter, and Sherry, Crystal's mother.
Okay, she drops by Crystal and Brooks's house one day, says, your house is a mess. I'd hate to see how your mother keeps her home.
I mean, mother-in-law from hell.
But it also just tells you what she thinks a woman's place is in a marriage and in a house, even more than how fucking rude that is to everybody involved.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so instead of like, she should have said to Brooks, do not treat Crystal and her kids this way.
Exactly.
And he should have said, do not treat Crystal and her kids this way and her family this way. But none of that, it was just their own echo chamber of bullshit.
And it's funny too, because it's like, well then, Brooks, what did you see in Crystal when you met her?
Why are you here?
You know what I mean?
For control
But
and
it's also like, Crystal was just never going to be that woman that you, like, your mom, you know what I mean?
But he wanted to be able to like control and manipulate.
Which is why it starts with hiring her to work for him. And that power imbalance is like, it's baked in from the beginning.
Exactly. So Crystal's family is freaking fed up. They're sad, they're angry, they're doing their own investigation. But honestly though, they had timelines, they had a whiteboard, like they are legit.
And I gotta say that like we get a lot from the mom, and I'm on her side, of course, that like she didn't feel like the sheriff's department was doing very much. And I do think that like sometimes in these cases, they just can't tell the family what they're doing because it feels like they were working on this.
That's fair enough.
But the dad, because he knows how to do this, is like in the wild doing his own search like all day, every day.
So Crystal's been missing for 9 months, and Tommy, her dad, gets a tip.
He got a tip that on the night Crystal disappeared, hunters saw a suspiciously parked car near the Hauk farm, a white Buick. He told detectives about it. Just a few days later,
lo and behold, he gets some information back that Brooks's grandmother, Anna Whitesides, owns a white Buick.
The boyfriend's grandmother owns a white Buick.
Right. So this is Brooks's grandmother. And so the cops go to investigate this. They find video footage of Nick, the brother, and the grandmother somewhere like out of state selling the Buick.
Like the day after the tip is public that everyone's looking for a white Buick, they sell the grandmother's white Buick. That's the specific white Buick we're looking for.
And the thing that we should also say, and we'll get more into why this is later, but there was a lot of public distrust of the cops in Bardstown. Nick's dad is getting more tips than the cops.
Mm-hmm.
That's why this tip about the Buick came into the dad and not the police.
Right. So they track down the car, they test the trunk, and they find, this is a very important distinction, they find hair that looks like Crystal's. It's not a DNA match because the quality was too poor, they couldn't test it. But physically, it's a match. It's like if you found like a pink hair somewhere, you'd be like, well...
right, it's probably Jillian.
It's probably her. So that's what I mean. It's
Pick
just
it
like
up and smell it. Does it smell like a witch? Jillian.
It's just like long blonde hair, and they say, I'm not trying to like downplay it, but that's what I mean when they say like it's physically a match, it just looks like it was Crystal's hair.
It's one of those things that like it tells the cops in their gut, like, okay, keep going down. But there's no like usable value
Right. So it's frustrating because this is a total bust. Like they like were able to do the good work and track down the car, and then when they finally get evidence that they're like, I know this is Crystal's hair, they can't test it because the quality's poor.
I've got some bad news.
What?
We've got to do a balloon release on the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for years. We've been on a crusade. Please don't do the balloon releases.
I know.
We get it. We got it. We got to commemorate. We've got to absolutely like make the memory of the day.
And this was like after 1 year missing, so maybe it wasn't as publicized like how bad for the earth it is.
And
but,
it wasn't those like Mylar balloons. It was like the, regular
What's
balloons.
Mylar?
Mylar are like those birthday balloons that are like
the
silver.
shiny ones?
Yeah, those are the ones that the dolphins really like.
And the ducks too.
Yeah.
All balloons are not great.
Yep,
I always think they're going to pop. They make me very anxious.
Oh, you couldn't be in the room when I opened the champagne the other week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So this is a bust. But Tommy, the dad, is relentless, and he's doing everything in his power to find his daughter.
Including like some shade.
Right. So it's now 1 year missing, which is only a few months after this white Buick tip.
Yeah.
Here's another glaring red flag.
And as far as we could tell, the media, the whole family withdrew. And while they were still very much participants in the town doing business, living their lives, they weren't coming out to things where we might be. They weren't interested in being recorded on camera.
Brooks and Crystal's family are not speaking. They were never speaking. They have never been in this together, even before he was named by police.
I mean, this is another Peterson parallel. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, this is crazy. Like, no matter how airtight you think your alibi is, Brooks, if you're not, like, banging down their door, if you're not living on their couch doing everything you can do to find their daughter, you look guilty.
Right. And look, they're definitely not going to patch things up after this billboard has been purchased.
This is the shade I was talking about. I fucking love it when shit like this happens. evidence?
So it's all red and white, and
Yeah.
it says missing. It's like red background and then white missing, then a white background and then red. Crystal Rogers, last seen on July 3rd, 2015, and then in big black letters by Brooks Houck.
So good.
Who is named the main suspect in her disappearance, according to the Nelson County Sheriff's Department. And then all the website, crystalrogerstaskforce.com, the phone number. I mean, come on. That's
sorry,
how you
girl.
do it.
Can you remind me where they put this billboard? Right across the street from the Sheriff's Department.
Great.
The other thing, like to keep it fresh in the police's mind
Right.
as
Oh, by
well.
the way,
I
this
know.
is for everyone.
I was like, oh my God. Because the thing is too, like the mom, Sherry, and the dad, Tommy, are like, they're amazing, but they're a little bit soft-spoken, but damn, they have
get shit
creativity,
done.
uniqueness, nerve, and talent if ever you've seen
Hell
it. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
So Tommy, Crystal's dad, like this obviously, of course, can destroy somebody. Like he's so stressed out, he's exhausted, he's paranoid, and now he's feeling like he's in danger too.
Well, I will always think of like the Fred Murray vibes, you know, Maura Murray's dad, like the way that like to this day, every weekend he can, he's going into the woods in New Hampshire. Like this is what Tommy was doing.
Right.
And Sherry, the mom, is like, he's killing himself doing this.
And then when you're the face and the mouthpiece of this really important, maybe polarizing emotional thing, like now he's feeling like, why am I looking over my shoulder?
Well, and
like,
because
am I in danger here?
Once again, he's the one getting the tips. Like the town doesn't trust the cops, but they trust Tommy. So he's the one who like is getting the tips. Like
And
if
the
it's gonna be
good tips.
yes, and if it's gonna be, if people know stuff, they're going to him.
And the more he feels like he's in danger, I'm like, Tommy, that means you're on the right track.
Yes.
You're getting closer.
Yes.
Because now Crystal's parents are taking care of 4 of her kids. Eli, the youngest, is with Brooks, the boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's November 19th, 2016. It's early in the morning. And Tommy, the dad, goes out with Crystal's 11-year-old son. They're going to go out hunting.
Sherry was still in bed when her phone rang 30 minutes later. It was her grandson. He was hysterical.
And he told me Tommy had been shot. You know, I just panicked. And I said, I'm coming.
Tommy, Crystal's dad, is shot in the chest and killed. The 11-year-old is okay.
Yeah, but he's right there when it happens.
He's right there. Yes, physically, he's okay. I mean,
he calls his grandmother. He's screaming. She comes down. Like Tommy's already dead by the time she gets there. The cops are on the scene.
and don't even try to say it's a hunting accident because
No.
nobody believes that shit.
I know. By the
They
way,
left 30 minutes ago.
Andrea Canning's crying again.
I mean, how could you not?
I know. She says this is all too much for one person to bear. She's talking about herself.
I know.
You know what I mean?
So the theory is that someone was waiting for Tommy the dad, hiding in the bushes.
Now, there's good evidence of this because there is bark that is freshly ripped off a tree.
Like a chunk of it.
Yeah, and so they're saying that would be kickback from the gun. So whoever fired the gun, it kicked back and it ripped that chunk off the tree. And that tree was a direct shot to where Tommy died. My only question is, how would that person have known they were going to be there?
It's someone, I don't know, a tipster, someone who's around. Like, I think when, I'm just guessing because I have the privilege of not having been in this situation before, but I would think that you kind of start talking to everyone when you're trying to get to the bottom of things.
Yeah.
So maybe your circle isn't as small as it would be in your real life.
Yeah.
And now you're like, oh, where's this? Oh, I have an 11-year-old too. Oh, Crystal Roger. Like, I feel like maybe you would just be talking to people,
And you would just be
strangers.
saying, like, I'm going hunting tomorrow with my 11-year-old
like, oh,
nephew.
what are you guys doing? Like, oh, like, can you try to find some joy in your life?
Yeah.
Like, that conversation can happen, I think, really easily
that makes sense.
in a community.
Because I believe this was a targeted hit.
I agree.
But my only question is, like, how would they have known?
I think when you have been searching for your daughter for a year and your whole thing is talking to people and seeing what they know, you have conversations you don't even remember or realize you're having.
And also, like, the person didn't have to have been there all night long. Like, they could have been followed. Like, they could have just been waiting outside the house and followed them.
And I'm just speculating that, but I think that, like, it's easy to, I think you open up more because you want people to open up more.
Yeah.
What do you know? So you and you're vulnerable, you know, like, that's just what happens. So Tommy Rogers' murder.
This hit hard. It scared the community.
Because this wasn't just about Tommy or Crystal. They were just the latest victims in a string of unsolved killings, plaguing this once peaceful town.
5 murders in 4 years.
In a really small town.
The fifth unsolved murder in the small, picturesque town of 14,000 people.
In like 4 years, in like a very small window.
So a year before Crystal's disappearance, we learn that Kathy Netherland, who's a special education teacher, and Samantha, her 16-year-old daughter, were murdered in a home invasion. Their killer was never caught, and I'm going to say this now, there is zero information on this. Everything online is like rumors and speculation and theories.
Oh, wow.
They have never found the killer, and it was apparently a very brutal scene.
Now, they make the point here too quickly. They don't think that Kathy and Samantha's murder is connected to the series of murders we're about to see.
Yes.
The rest of this episode. They do eventually believe that the rest of these murders are connected. But it is crazy that there's been this many murders in America's most beautiful small town in 4 years.
14,000 people, right?
Yeah.
So that's Kathy Netherland and Samantha. Again, their killer was never caught. It was a home invasion.
Yeah.
A year before that, so now that's 2 years before Crystal's murder, there was a murder that was really similar to what happened to Tommy the dad.
Yes. So this guy's name is Jason Ellis, and we meet his mom and his sisters, and they're telling us he was fun, life of the party, family-oriented. This guy loved baseball. Loved
he
it.
played in the minors for the Cincinnati Reds.
Do you know, though, that like I was shocked to find this out in an unrelated way a while ago? They make no money.
Oh, no.
I didn't know that.
That's why, like, that term, like, you get called up to the majors.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it comes from, everyone, because it's a big deal. And then when you get sent back down, you're like, oh, it's like such a blow.
And because like they have to have like second, like it's basically a hobby.
Yeah.
And so what happens is that.
But after learning his first son was going to be born with special needs, Jason's mom, Pam, says Jason shifted his priorities.
They found out Hunter was going to be Down syndrome. He changed his career so he can be with his family.
So he gave up baseball to be the best dad he could be.
Mm-hmm.
He quit baseball. He gave up the thing that he loved the most in the world to like get a more sensible job, to like make enough money and be there for his family. Like,
yeah,
this
and not have to be on
guy
the road.
Rocked.
You know, like,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So Rick McCoven, the chief who fired Nick the brother.
The unasked that chair guy.
Unasked that chair guy. He was Jason's boss.
Yes.
And everyone just has like incredible things to say about this guy.
Well, McCubbin says that Jason was a chief's cop. I loved that expression because he was saying like he enjoyed policing. He loved his career, never had a complaint against him.
He would have gone down to have that conversation even if it was his brother.
Exactly.
You know, without fighting and then disappearing for 6 days to get your story straight. Like he would just.
Sorry. Like I know I sound insane when I say this, but if somebody called me tomorrow and was like, I've got evidence that Steve is the murderer in this case, I would be like, I'll come in for questioning. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not covering up somebody else's murder.
What would you tell Steve you were going to do?
I got to record with Jillian because I know you'd figure it out. You know what I mean?
God, you're going to put that shit on me.
I know.
I'd be like, he probably did it.
I know.
It's usually the husband. What do you want me to tell you? I have bad news.
I know. But
the numbers say Steve did it.
I just think that more people than not would be questioned and answer honestly if they're confronted with their sibling or their loved one as a murderer.
Well, the point is that they're all involved. That's why he doesn't want to go down.
Well, yeah,
he spent 6 days getting his story straight.
Yeah.
So it's May 25th, 2013, Memorial Day weekend, and it's just before 3 a.m., and Jason had just signed off for the night.
You're at home and you get a very disturbing call that something has happened to one of your officers.
I did. They called me just before 3 a.m.
Officer down, Bluefield Road.
The officer was down on an exit ramp, and there were trees around.
The officer was Jason. He had just signed off for the night. When Chief McCubbin got there, he saw him lying in a pool of blood.
And he is shot on his way home. So he was out of his car clearing debris off the road.
This guy is such a good guy that he's like on an off-ramp on a highway. He sees like a fallen tree branch and he gets out of his car to move it.
Like
Who does that?
A hazard for the safety of the town.
Now, we're going to learn that likely somebody placed that. So it was probably enough debris that he actually couldn't pass. So he moved it because he needed to drive past it.
The cops are saying that the debris was put there intentionally to force Jason out of the car because there weren't trees anywhere in the area. There was just like this random branch across the road.
By the way, Andrea Canning sobbing again. Like she can't. This is all so fucking awful.
And they also found the spot where the person was crouched waiting for him, which is chilling. But also, it's chilling on its own, but it's also chilling because very similar to Tommy the dad, right? Like, so for Jason and Tommy the dad, the killer was lying in wait.
Yes.
It was about 3 a.m. It was off the exact same highway. And that highway is also where Crystal's car was found.
Right. And so it's 3.5 years later when Tommy is shot and killed and Jason's murder is still not solved.
But there's one major connection.
Yes.
There was a connection between the victims. Brooks's brother, Nick Houck. Jason Ellis and Nick worked together at the Bardstown PD. No one knew what, if anything, to make of that. No evidence has been shared linking the two cases.
All of these cases are connected through this guy, Nick, right? Nick is Brooks's brother.
Yeah.
Nick is Jason, the shot cop's colleague. And so, like, the cases of Jason, Tommy, and Crystal are all connected.
Right. And they don't know how, though.
Right.
Like, they just know that this family, like Brooks and Nick, like, they have to be involved. But how and why Jason Ellis, and how does he connect to Crystal? Or is it just that these people are fucking murderers?
And that's the thing. Like, we kind of, like, we don't really come back to Jason's case after this.
Yeah.
And I'm just so curious as to what would have been the motive. If it's the same killers, right? Mm-hmm. What would have been the motive to kill Jason?
It could be as simple as Nick's a bad cop. Jason was a good one.
Yeah.
Jason knew something and was going to, do the right thing against Nick. I mean, that seems the most likely scenario to me because Nick is shady.
Yeah, and somebody says something in passing that, like, Jason was so squeaky clean that, like, you never would have thought that he would have been involved in anything outside of...
He wasn't, but other people were and killed him for it. If I were to guess, I think that is the most likely scenario, unfortunately.
Yeah, and, like, to this day, there's really no answers to this case.
And Brooks is doing, of course, fine, better than fine. His business is thriving. He's a multimillionaire. He also has a new girlfriend. Guess what her name is?
And guess what her job was?
Also named Crystal Maupin.
She starts managing rental properties, much like Crystal did. She even kind of looked like Crystal. She's a beautiful blonde woman, just like Crystal Rogers.
She's also working as his property manager, just like Crystal Rogers.
Yes.
Like, holy shit, Shane the podcaster is like, oh my God.
I know. You can't make it up. Yeah. But, like, I want to repeat what I said earlier on. Like, he's hiring women that he wants to date because he wants there to be a power imbalance in the relationship.
And he's also brainwashing this Crystal.
Yeah.
Because this Crystal is taking down signs asking for information about Crystal Rogers. Like, she's removing them from lawns.
My thing is, like, I don't know that I want to give her the pass of having been brainwashed. Like, maybe she just sucks.
Maybe she's just an asshole.
You know what I mean?
Again, if we're going to go the Occam's razor girly route, then...
I mean, like, she's ripping missing person signs out of people's yards. She gets busted, and she is court-ordered to apologize to Crystal's mother. I love it.
Make her put them back herself.
I know.
All day long.
Make her join the search party.
Yeah. Make her man the phones.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, no, I don't trust her.
And then we get this weird thing where we have this reporter, like, Brooks has never spoken to a reporter on the record. But like, this one reporter tricks him into getting a recorded phone call by pretending to be interested in one of his rental properties.
His name is Forrest Berkshire, which sounds like the name of a reporter in a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Totally.
And I say that as a compliment.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, his name is Forrest Berkshire.
He left his job at the New York Times to come home and save the failing paper in his hometown.
Right. And then, like, the guy from the big city that was his ex or whatever.
Yeah.
He's gay in this scenario.
Absolutely. I love Christmas Town. We got to save the local paper.
Exactly.
You know?
So they never speak about Crystal directly, but he's, like, doing this to learn that Brooks is a cocky jerk who's not in mourning. I'm like, you needed a phone call for that?
I think that he was doing this to get Brooks on tape so he could give the tape to Dateline.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm
Great.
like, it was one of those moments where I was like, I see what's going on here.
We'll take it. I guess we'll take the help. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
2019, Jon Snow retires. The FBI has now taken over the case, and Agent Steve Curie is on the case now from the FBI.
He and his tattoos are here.
Well, he knows full well that the community is furious
Yes.
and scared and impatient. There have been 5 unsolved murders. No one's in handcuffs.
Yeah.
Like, Steve, dazzle me.
And he also knows that there's just a massive mistrust. Like, part of the reason these cases can't be solved is because the public doesn't trust the cops because these cases haven't been solved.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So they start Operation Justice Rising.
Love it.
It was the summer of 2020 when the FBI flooded Bardstown. For 5 days, the FBI searched the Houck properties. They used dogs and divers, collected boxes of evidence, and spoke with neighbors. And they combed the family farm again, the same property long whispered about in connection to Crystal's disappearance.
Evidence collecting, document collecting, canvassing, like all this big family farm. Like, Brooks comes from a massive family farm. It's a big piece of property. That's a whole lot of shit to search. So finally, we have a break in the case. The FBI finds teeny tiny recorders all over the house on this big family farm that belongs to Brooks, the boyfriend, and Nick, the brother, and the whole family and the shitty mom.
Yeah. And they realize that, like, the family has been recording all of their conversations with the cops. We'll get back to that later.
But then the FBI looks more into that 13-second phone call. It was the middle of the night Crystal went missing. And remember, Brooks, the boyfriend, said Steve Lawson called him, but he couldn't remember why. And then that, like, planned phone call in front of the cops where Steve Lawson was like, oh, I have a perfectly normal response. Of course I remember.
Yeah.
Remember that? Okay. So the FBI reanalyzes that call with their special FBI technology.
Yeah. That's what it's called.
Yes.
TM.
Yeah.
And
they said, hey, you're never gonna believe this. He's on the Bluegrass Parkway. And I just never, what? This is crazy.
The Bluegrass Parkway, near the spot Crystal's car had been found, on the same night she disappeared.
So that 13-second phone call that they wanted to explain away was made basically next to Crystal Rogers' car.
Right. And Steve Lawson gets calls from his adult son, Joey, a lot of missed calls. And then he calls his son and then he calls Brooks. So basically the cops are like, okay, here's what happened.
Yeah.
Something happened. His son called Steve Lawson. Steve Lawson called Brooks the boyfriend.
Yeah. And if
they're all connected.
If you reverse engineer it, what Steve and his tattoos are saying is that Brooks hired Steve to get rid of Crystal, essentially is the thinking. And Steve outsourced part of that to his son, and something went wrong, and the son called his dad, and then his dad called Brooks.
To say in 13 seconds something went wrong.
Yes. And this is going to be the linchpin to the whole thing.
What happens in someone's life to be yeah, I'll participate in this murder. Sure.
Oh, I know.
And for peanuts, for $500 or whatever. For nothing.
I know. Because people have this in them, some people.
Look, I know. It's terrifying. But the fact, because at first I feel before this podcast, 10 years ago, I'd be well, if Steve Lawson has no connection, why would he be involved? Oh, no.
Right.
Hey, idiot, you 10 years ago?
Yeah,
No.
right.
People want to be involved in this.
People want, and also because Brooks is a prominent member of the community and probably thinking doing a favor for this guy is going to do something for Steve Lawson.
Or he has something on Steve Lawson.
Or that.
Or the kid, or whatever.
Or maybe the $500 really means something to Steve Lawson, which I didn't mean to, I'm not laughing at the dollar amount. That's a lot of money.
But someone's life? That's what I mean. It is nothing compared to the act of murdering someone.
And what these idiots who are really sick and twisted to be involved in a murder never understand is that you always get caught.
Always.
You always get caught.
One day.
Yeah.
So we have our special prosecutor here, Shane, and he teams up with Teresa, his wife, and Jim, his colleague.
Yeah.
The cops are saying that these cases are connected, but the lawyers are saying that Crystal's case is the easiest to prove, so that's the one they're going to focus on.
Imagine that Crystal's case, no body, no crime scene, no murder weapon, no actual motive is the easiest of those to prove. Wild.
I know. So the prosecutors have a theory.
Prosecutors developed a working theory. It was Joey who was driving Crystal's car, and he called his dad Steve when he got the flat tire.
The flat tire is the best part of this whole thing.
Chef's kiss.
Because if they hadn't gotten the flat tire and Joey hadn't called his dad never would have called Brooks, and they wouldn't have that 13-second call connecting the three of them.
Right. So they put Steve Lawson under oath and start asking him questions, and he's like, yeah, I was on the highway that night, and yes, it's the same highway where Crystal's car was found.
Yeah.
And so he's immediately arrested. The cops interview him. He's also wearing a bright blue shirt with the words, y'all crazy, in gigantic white letters.
I know.
The cops are yelling at him almost immediately. Do the right thing, Steve.
These cops, they're doing that thing where they're in the face, they're their legs are between their legs and they're screaming in their faces. And Steve Lawson, don't you holler at me. I don't appreciate that, sir.
Y'all crazy, says his shirt.
I know. It's the Who Farted for 2026.
They interview him over and over and over again. Over months. This guy is just not cracking. Everyone is frustrated. They're exhausting. Steve Lawson is a very annoying person.
Yeah.
Everyone's at the end of their ropes. And finally, one of the prosecutors comes in and he's like, Steve, look, can you just tell us that you spoke to your son that night on the phone? And Steve goes, oh yeah, 100%.
Well,
and
I know.
He I don't know why, but for some reason, this guy starts telling the truth. And it's not like he says, okay, fine, you got me. It's literally seamless.
They wore him down. And what he admits in this interview is that his son did call him and he went to pick up his son who had Crystal Rogers' car.
Right.
And this is where Steve Lawson says that he tried to readjust the seat, but he didn't do it enough.
Yeah.
The idiot.
Yeah. He did a piss poor job at it because it was the first thing the cop noticed on his way back. And it's oh. So this is just the tip of the iceberg because as Andrea Canning says,
now that he was talking, Steve didn't stop. He told investigators that before Crystal disappeared, Brooks confided in him that they were having problems.
I think his exact word was, exact. Well, I just like her gone.
He, quote, just wanted her gone.
This case has been going on for 7 years. This is a major turning point.
And I guess, fuck me, because I guess this was the easiest one to prove. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got enough witnesses that you probably feel like you can crack.
Well, when there's a Steve Lawson involved, they're like, let's talk to him.
We got that one. Yeah.
With the y'all crazy shirt.
Exactly.
So everyone's arrested. Brooks is arrested for first-degree murder. Steve Lawson and his son Joey are arrested for conspiracy and tampering with physical evidence. Nick, the brother, and the mom will get off scot-free. They will never be charged. They will.
You know, and I think that that is awful and I hate it. But I guess at this point, it's if we can get these guys, let's get these guys.
But also, can we investigate? Can we get internal? Oh, I mean, he's been fired, but I would love for internal affairs to see what the fuck Nick has been doing with his career this whole time as a bad cop.
Yeah, because the
as
other
a
thing
dirty cop.
that we didn't even mention was that when he got fired, the boss was like, he didn't even argue. Like, that's how guilty he knew he was.
Yeah, he was a cop so he can get away with shit.
Yes.
He didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't actually want to do good.
Well, because we never get there, let's just talk about this for a second. Like, do we think that Nick also killed Officer Jason?
Oh, yeah. I think Nick is the through line.
Yeah. And I'm just so curious as to why. You know what I mean?
And I think Nick is the through line because he got away with Jason.
Yeah.
And he's a cop.
Yeah.
And he can get away with anything.
And the reason they had to kill
So he
Tommy, the
thinks.
dad, is because Tommy was the one who was, if it was
Getting
going to
too
be
close.
solved, it was going to be solved through Tommy, not the cops.
Yeah. And it's not that crazy to think that, like, Crystal's boyfriend's team, like, that side would get information from you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the community's talking and, like, people don't know that Brooks is the bad guy. I don't know. Like, word gets around.
No, yeah, well, so it goes to trial, you know, and the state is acknowledging it's a tough case for them.
This was a tough case for the state. They had no body, no crime scene, and no murder weapon.
That's important.
So they would have to rely on their circumstantial evidence. You told the jury this is about common sense.
It is about common sense.
All they've got is circumstantial evidence. But, like, it's funny because the prosecutor says to the jury, like, it's so simple, you would almost never think of it. Like, this is just a common sense case.
And it's a family affair.
Yes.
Because everyone is testifying that Crystal hated Brooks and she was planning to leave him.
Exactly.
Which we know is the most dangerous time.
Yes, and Brooks' story was like, no, everything was great. We just got back from the beach. Like, we were going on vacations. I loved it. No, everyone on the stand is like, she wanted to go. She was afraid that he would keep the kid.
Yeah.
She was afraid of him.
His idea of fun, he wants us to believe, is walking around a rainy, dark farm with a 2.5-year-old from 7:30 to 10:30. Brooks,
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah, shut up.
Just shut up. So the prosecutors say that this was a whole family affair. Brooks, his brother Nick, the cop, their mother, they were all involved.
They do call the mom and the brother unindicted co-conspirators. They are giving no fucks.
And the prosecutor, like, publicly they're saying
Yes.
this, not just in court, like on TV.
Yeah,
So now
yeah.
everyone knows that this family is involved.
Unbelievable.
So, like, all this combined witness testimony says
Brooks lured Crystal out to the Houck property.
She had told me that that night her and Brooks was going on a surprise date.
That's not date night.
But prosecutor Shane Young said that date night wasn't dinner and roses. It was a drive to the family farm with Eli at around 7:30 p.m.
Brooks lured Crystal to the big family farm under the guise of giving it another shot.
And,
which
like,
is so fucking manipulative and cruel and sad.
Crystal's friend is here to be like, she was really excited about this.
Because she wanted love.
And she wanted a family for her family, you know?
Yeah. And so, like, it was this big surprise date. She was excited about it. Like, God knows where Eli was when this was happening. They're 2.5-year-old.
You know, I hadn't even thought of that.
Like, because he was there. Like,
Yes.
it's confirmed that he was at the farm. So the grandmother was probably, like, playing with him, you know, like, hanging out and, like, oh, like, I'll take care of Eli, you know.
Yeah. Well, and the thing,
playing
like,
peekaboo or whatever the fuck. And, like, there's a murder happening on your farm,
and
Rosemary.
what he did to her, we'll never know. And what he did with the body, we'll never know.
Yeah, but it, like, I would say that they're saying there's like a 99% chance that Crystal was killed at the farm.
Yeah.
They just can't prove it.
No question.
And so remember the recorders that were all over the place?
Yes.
They were recording themselves to get their story straight. So that they would come back and be like, what did you say to the cop? And then it would be recorded so that we can go back and say, what did you say to the cop on this day?
I mean, these people are idiots, but it's well thought out because in 9 years of doing this, I've never seen that before.
I would just love to know what else Nick has gotten away with. Because so far it's at least 2 murders that we know of.
Yes. And this is where they say that it was a family cover-up, which would have worked.
That phone call is what did it. That this whole case, if they had not gotten a flat tire, we probably wouldn't have solved this case. If that phone call had not been made.
Had they not gotten that flat tire and Steve Lawson made that 13-second phone call to Brooks.
Or had they not just trusted Steve Lawson.
Right.
Like, he's the wild card here.
You know why that call was 13 seconds? Because it was Brooks being like, what the fuck are you calling me for? And hanging up.
Brooks, don't answer, idiot.
Exactly.
Stay stupid.
Exactly.
But it's not just that, however. The Lawsons, Steve Lawson, the wild card, that family, they were telling everyone in town about the murder, and everyone testified to it.
Like, Steve Lawson's ex-wife testifies to overhearing them talking about moving the car. Steve Lawson's ex-girlfriend testifies to hearing them talking about moving a body from the Helk farm.
They're all idiots. They're all talking about it. Everyone.
Unbelievable.
Like, out at the diner, they're all talking about it. Everyone knows everything. Great job.
But also then, like, ex-wife and ex-girlfriend, why aren't you going to the cops with this information?
Maybe they did.
Maybe they did. I'll fuck myself and see myself
I don't know if they did, but maybe that's why we know to talk to them.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So the prosecution rests. The defense gets up there. This Brian Butler guy, who's a well-known defense attorney, he has an answer for everything. Like, everything's great, relationship is great, nothing to see here.
I gotta say, though, like, his pitch is kind of like Brooks and his mother are both incredibly successful. Brooks is a millionaire. The brother's like a successful police officer, or was until he got fired. And he's like, they're all gonna come together and risk everything to kill somebody.
And look, to his point, he's right to say there's zero evidence. There's no body, there's no murder weapon, no crime scene, no proven motive. And he will also say the cops are corrupt, cops are bullies, witness statements were given under duress. And I'm like, shit, you know,
and we see some of these interviews where, like, one of the girlfriends, like, you're screaming in my face, I don't know anything and I want to leave. Like, it wasn't always perfect policing here.
Look, it never is.
Yeah.
So, like, all of these points, I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. Like, I buy that, but I also know that his family killed her.
No
killed
question.
Crystal. So in spite of all of this,
deliberations continued for 1 hour, then 2. That afternoon, everyone was called back to the courtroom.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder.
the jury comes back with guilty verdicts.
2 hours.
So Steve and Joey Lawson are guilty of conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence. Steve gets 17 years. His son gets 25.
Yeah.
And Brooks, the boyfriend, is sentenced to life in prison.
Yeah, and then like Nick and the mom get away scot-free.
But the case is still open.
Yeah.
Their case is still open.
Yeah, well, and like the case of Jason and Tommy are still open, and like the prosecutor won't commit to like bringing charges in those cases, but like they're not ruling it out either.
And we also have no answers about who killed Tommy, Crystal's dad, no answers about Jason Ellis, no answers about Kathy Netherland and her daughter Samantha.
And also no answers about where Crystal's body is.
Right, and what exactly happened to her.
That is, what makes me so sad about that is that like the body's probably close.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's on the farm.
If it like my 2 cents is that it probably isn't, because like they know that farm will be searched within an inch of its life over and over again. But it's probably, the body never is far. Whenever we cover these cases and they find the body 10 years later, it's like a mile down there.
Yeah.
They can't search every square inch of Kentucky.
Yeah.
And it's just so sad because it's like Brooks will never admit to having done this murder, so he'll never try to trade that information for any sort of leniency. So the family's just never going to know. And it's just awful.
And like, I don't really give a shit that they're successful millionaires. They're still fucking miserable sacks of shit, all of them.
Question.
The mother, the brother, like, so they still have to wake up being them. I know that that's not much.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like to the family, but I think there's at least something that the family can hold on to and draw their own conclusions, because I certainly am.
Yeah. Oh my God, girl, we did Trouble in Bardstown. You, me, Andrea Canning, we had a rough one with this.
Come on, Andrea.
It's so
We'll get
sad.
through it. Thanks for doing the good work, everybody.
Exactly.
Involved.
Speaking of the good work, fam, we have 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. 200,000 on YouTube.
Hi, maybe more at this point.
I
This
know.
is like a couple weeks ago now.
Look, if that tells you one thing, it's that our YouTube is really fun. You should go watch our videos. They really are a good time. It's True Crime Obsessed Podcast on the YouTube. Join the Facebook group, True Crime Obsessed Podcast Discussion Group.
And we have a Patreon.
Yeah, and the Patreon, if you want full ad-free bonus episodes, there's like 500 of them.
Yeah, because it's these episodes that are on the regular feed and then stuff that's only for Patreon, like all of our series episodes that are like 3, 4, 5 episodes.
Every series that's ever been on Netflix and Hulu and HBO Max and all of that, it's all over there. What are we doing next, girl?
Oh boy, The Secrets We Bury on HBO Max / Discovery Plus.
I stayed up really late the other night and watched this.
This is about a guy who thought his dad bailed on his family, but that's not what happened.
Yeah.
What actually happened is fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
So everyone gird your loins. We all watched this like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
When it came out. So yeah, we are, there we go. Just like get ready.
It's insane.
It's insane.
All right, fam, stay tuned for the trailer for that.
Yep.
And we love you.
All right, we love you. Stay safe, please.
All right, bye.
Bye.
I grew up in what I thought was a pretty normal family.
One morning, Dad went out to the store to get a pack of cigarettes, and he never came back. He disappeared off the face of the earth.
On her deathbed, I asked her, Mom, can you tell me anything about Dad before you leave? My mother literally turned her head, winked at me, and then passed away. Maybe he was involved with organized crime.
There was no police report.
He had left, but the car was there, and his wallet was there.
I asked Mike to come to the psychic with me.
And I said to myself, this is bullcrap. I just want to know where my dad is. The psychic goes, oh, the M word, murder. He is in the basement. I lived in this house all my life. That's when I made this decision. I said, I'm going to go find him. I'm gonna dig. I had a mission. People looked at me like, you're crazy.
We were digging for months. There was nothing. All of a sudden, I hit something with the shovel.